Welcome to Relatable Wisdom, the podcast where real people share timeless ideas. I'm your host, Wisdom Okonkwo, and in every episode we dive into the philosophies, quotes, points, and life lessons that shape how we live, think, and grow. No matter where you are in life, this show is here to remind you wisdom is everywhere, and it's always relatable most of the times.
Tell us your name and what you do.
My name is Steve Wagstaff, and we're the founders of Swagability Inc., a nonprofit in over here in Canada, Eastern Canada.
And I'm his wife, Julie.
Yeah, I was like the better half.
Absolutely.
Julie Wagstaff. Welcome to the podcast. The swagabilities.
That's right. Swagabilities, yeah, plural. I love that.
I guess we could call you the swagables.
The swags, yeah, whatever we're swagables. That's a great family name or a TV show name.
Yeah, welcome to the podcast. What is the quote you want to share with me today?
I think our favorite one is love the Lord God with all your heart, soul, and mind, and your neighbor as yourself. Yeah.
Love the Lord God with all your heart and your neighbor as yourself.
Correct.
What is the context behind that quote? Why is it your favorite quote?
Yeah.
Why it's our favorite quote?
Yeah.
I guess that that's our life. So we have been given a gift through Christ, and so it's just natural to want to love him and thank him for that. And then I think through that, our lives, we want to take that love that he's given to us and share that with other people in terms of whether it's helping or encouraging or giving hope, because we have such a hope through Christ. And it's just,
we live in a world that desperately needs encouragement and hope right now.
Yeah.
And so we're trying to, number one, obey what God has commanded us to, but also as followers of him, live like Jesus lived.
When I saw the quotes, a couple of questions. The moment when you filled the form, I saw the quotes, I was just going through that. A couple of questions popped in my head and I was like, I'm going to ask them that question when I see them. We live in a world where everybody professes to love God, right? Everybody, not everybody, but when I say everybody, and I was like, oh, I love God, but they don't love their neighbor, right? And I don't know the exact verse, but I think there's a verse in the Bible that says, Apostle Paul, he was like, if I give my body, if I do this, and I don't have love, that I don't have anything. And
1 Corinthians.
Yeah.
Chapter 13. 1st or 2nd Corinthians chapter 13. Yeah. If we don't have love, he's like, we're just a banging cymbal or a banging drum.
Yeah.
Basically, everything we do is just it's drowned out by noise. It's annoying, and hearing it, there's nothing comes from it. Yeah.
And this is I don't know if you've noticed it, but on social media, this is what is common, right? People talk about things, people do things, or people fight, quote unquote, for freedom or whatever good thing is out there. If it gives them popularity, credit, if it gives them, if it's viral, if it's in trend, if it will make them, look better, not necessarily because that is the right thing to do. And so the moment it's no longer the thing in trend, everybody say, no, we're no longer fighting for the freedom of social persons or for these people to be given shelter. There's so many things that are good things to do in the world.
Yeah, it's a really wise perception, on your part. It's a deep thought, which makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. How do we, it's a love your neighbor, right? I'm curious because we're using abstract words right now. Love your neighbor, love God. What does it mean to love your neighbor? Let's start from what a love person to understand. What does it mean to love your neighbor?
I think first of all, we got to define it because our world has absolutely watered down the word love you have rock stars that from a stage will be like, "We love you," and people yelling back, "We love you," or "We love." Love is such a watered down word compared to what it really means. You know, you got guys on their first date telling the woman, "I love you," and love is so deep because the real meaning of it, like I think, is self-sacrificing. Like it's doing something that takes away from you and makes the other person the center of that love, which is so counterintuitive to our selfish nature, right? Like every part of us wants to love ourselves. Like we're all about us just because of our nature. So love in itself is to be given to someone else. So I think that's why, and I don't want to go all nerdy, but like the Greek, that's why they had 4 different descriptions of the word love. There was like eros, which was sexual love. Then there was agape, which is this deep self-sacrificing love. So for us to love your neighbor, it means like at a cost to you, not that you're looking to, you know, make yourself weak or whatever, but it's being there at 2 a.m. when, you know, they're having a hard time or they've run short of money and you don't have money, but you give to them because it's the right thing to do. So it's giving at a detriment to yourself, is the best way I can say it, and having a desire to do so. What are your thoughts?
No, I agree with all of that. What was popping into my head as you were saying it is, it's not just lip service. It's actually putting action to what you're saying to an individual or to others, not just, you know, oh, let me know if you need help, or I want, you know, I love you, and then that's it. Like you follow that up with action. So this is how I'm going to prove to you or show you that I really do care about you. I really do love you.
Because it is a verb. It's actually
Yeah.
an action word, right? As opposed to just a description. It's an action word. So
Yeah. Yeah. You at the beginning of the episode, one of the things you were about to get into the backstory, and I was like, no, don't say it, don't say it. And you're like, this quote is part of the reason why you guys do what you do now, and I'm curious, what exactly do you do?
we have one thing that we decided when we started Swagability. It was, we decided to do it because we've had this kind of self mantra or motto that we don't want to waste our scars. And what I mean by that is that not just I broke my neck when I was 19, so I'm a quadriplegic and I require a lot of help. And I met my wife after and my accident, and I've been blessed. We've been married for 25 years, but during this journey, it's been a wonderful journey together. But along the road, there's been so much loss. We lost a child. We've lost a younger sibling that left 11 children behind, ages 13 and down, without a mom. We've lost our parents as young people. And then most recently, my wife going through 2 major cancer surgeries. And those are just those issues. There's been others that have been in between. So having walked through a lot of dark times, we felt God really impressing on us that there's so many people out there that are going through unseen things that we don't know about or whatever, that maybe when they hear our story, they'll let us into their life to help them either through life coaching. I'm a pastor, now retired, but so through counseling that's free, through adaptive products, mobility aids, assistive technology, and even financial support, not as a handout, but a hand up in life.
Yeah.
And that's been the reason to do what we do. Anything else that you're thinking that I've missed, honey?
No.
Okay.
No,
Yeah.
no,
Just,
no,
we just want to come alongside
no.
others. I think for us going through different struggles through our life, you connect better with people that have gone through something that you have. And so I think we just want to come alongside people to, I mean, it's even helpful, encouraging to us, but we want to encourage other people and say, we've been there, we've come out the other side. We want to walk through this with you. We love you. We care about you. And it just kind of
Pass on
build that community of,
love.
yeah, love, hope, encouragement. Yeah.
To hear someone else say, we know what you're going through, but yet that person knows they've never experienced anything like that. It's very hard to say we know what you're going through, so we rarely say that. But when they find out these are some of the backstory to your life, they can say, wait a second, they know the depth of our hurt right now. And they can say, like, how did you deal with it? And not that we dealt with it in a perfect way. We can just say, in hindsight, looking back, these are the things that, we needed or that were helpful for us, or that we figured out on our own that, wait a second, here's a way towards freedom. And quite often it's helping others out in that dark time yourself. So anyway.
I think even though we have so much technology now, I think everyone can seem more isolated than they used to. And sometimes there, like you said, there's so much going on in the world that how do you know who to turn to or where to seek help, because there's so many different things bombarding you, and what is real now and what is AI or just someone wanting to make a buck here or there. Like, yeah, it's
Swagability, the swagables. Wow, wow. I understand the backstory behind how the swagables and the swagability. Why do I keep saying swagables? I just
I
quite
love it.
I do too.
It's cute. It's a great little name.
It's like the Indomitables. What is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, Despicable, all those things, right? So I understand the backstory of swagability, but I want you to what exactly is swagability? Like you've told me the backstory of how it came to be and what you seek to do, but in my head, I'm like, what exactly? Who are you?
Let's take a quick pause. If you're enjoying this conversation and want more thought-provoking ideas straight to your inbox, join the Relatable Wisdom email list. It's free, quick, and filled with bite-sized insights, inspiring quotes, and behind-the-scenes reflections from our guests. Just head to relatablewisdom.com/join. That is relatablewisdom.com/join. Or tap the link in the show notes. And hey, subscribing to the podcast helps more than you think, and it's free. So if you haven't already, hit that follow button wherever you're listening. All right, let's get back to the conversation.
That's a good question. I think what we are, obviously, we're a nonprofit, so we're looking for people to invest into us, to trust us with finances, but that's just one area. Money doesn't fix every problem, and that's certainly not what we're intending, is that for someone to be able to get in touch with us and to be able to think, I am hurting, here's what's happened in my life, and for us to build a relationship with those people so that we can take a coaching call on the side during the week, or we can check in once a week with them. If they're going through some sort of marital abuse or whatever, we've partnered with other companies of like-mindedness, or people that I know have been through things that I don't know what it's like, whatever, to lose a spouse, but here's someone that has just gone through it. And Swagability, we have partners that we can say, here, we'll cover the charges or whatever, if there's a counseling fee or whatever. But we think this person would be great for you to to speak with, or it'll be us. We'll set up one-on-one meetings and just spend time with people, trying to coach them through hard times, or for those that have just been disabled and their whole life's been turned upside down. They need, right at the beginning, it's so hard. You get out of hospital, and all of a sudden there's so many expenses and they don't have insurance. And we can say, look, we're not a bank, but at least let's help you get this mobility product so you can go get your groceries, or you can go somewhere with your spouse or whatever. So it's being a resource in many areas. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think I understand better. There's something I would love to know, right? One of the anchor quotes you shared. Welcome back, Julie. One of the anchor quotes you shared is the love God and also love your neighbor. Just paraphrasing. And for me, I want us to, if we move forward to like in Corinthians, where Apostle Paul is like, I guess the question is, how do you, what are some intentional things you guys have put in place such that even though you're doing good, it doesn't become, as the word, it doesn't become handouts. It doesn't become doing good for the sake of looking good, but the sake of doing good. Right?
I think one of the main things for us is as we build relationships with people, we hope, number one, they see a difference in us. But second of all, the whole thing, the reason we do what we do is hopefully as we build these relationships, that we can introduce them to the saving gospel of Jesus Christ, because it's Christ that makes the difference in a person's life. It's Christ that enables us. And that may sound really weird to people, but when you leave religion and you enter into relationship where God takes residence inside of you by his Holy Spirit, you're guided by a whole new set of principles. You still fight your old nature and all that, but God lays on your heart. And really, when I say true hope is found for those people that are walking through a spinal cord injury, or like myself, or they've just been diagnosed with cancer or whatever, yes, we can offer them the temporary support that maybe helps them through this dark valley, but I can't offer them eternal life.
Yeah.
And that's something that only Jesus Christ exclusively offers. He says, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man comes to the Father but by me. And that may sound really a harsh thing to say in this world, but Christianity, the way that Christ means Christianity, is different than attending church. It's Christianity to us is where we can never do anything good enough to get into heaven. There's no works we can do. So we're not banking on that. We're completely banking on the fact that Christ did everything for us. And because of that, out of love, we're choosing to serve him.
First of all, I want to thank the both of you for doing the work that you do, right? A lot of persons go through storms and darkness, and I know that it's not just. I want to thank you, and I also want to thank God for giving the both of you the strength to do the work that you do, and for going out there and telling your story. By you, I mean plural. Your story, and then also me one, because the wife and the husband, they one, right? For telling your story, because doing that alone gives others, without counseling, without meeting anybody, without even anybody not even knowing that someone heard what you said, gives people the automatic permission to shine their light, to realize that there's someone out there, right? There's this couple I listened to on the podcast. I think I can't even remember what their name is again.
Swagable.
Well, I think it's something swagger something. I can't remember, but they were sharing their story. They're talking about how the husband was a quadriplegic, and then they were sharing their story, and it's like and that itself, I've had instances like that where people's story that I probably read in the newspaper and the column, right? Times I'm like, I can remember this man. This was what happened. They went through it, and itself is powerful. Recently, I was having a conversation with a guest, and he talked about planting seeds in trees that you would never get to sit under, and that is difficult in most cases, because sometimes you begin to question yourself: Am I even planting the right seeds? Are the seeds are the seeds going to survive? Right? It's really,
Yeah.
really hard. And yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm curious, Julie. How long have you been doing the swag? I keep saying swagables, but swagability. Like, how long have you been doing it? And um, I guess,
Um,
how long have you been doing it? And as much as you're doing the work, right? I also believe that the work we do, the work we work on, right? It works. Over here
Yeah, go ahead.
over here in Nigeria, we have a parable that says, the hands of the person who washes uh clothes, other people's clothes, is not dirty, right? Which means that the work you work on works on you too. And so I'm curious, how's the journey been like for for the both of you? You encourage people, you counsel people, but you also need encouragement. You also need counseling. So how has doing this work encouraged you? Does that make sense?
mhm, yes. Steve started this concept or idea back in 2023. Well, he was in hospital actually. He came up with the idea, and so it's kind of been a work in progress over the last couple years. But it's I have probably not been as in front and center as he has. I like kind of doing the behind the scenes aspect of it. And of course, as a caregiver, uh, I would probably have a different focus than Steve would, and we contemplated doing each separately doing podcasts. But again, it's not really my forte. He's more comfortable in front of the camera and asking questions, so he's
I
kind
love
of
it.
taken over that aspect, and I'm still working behind the scenes and helping where I can. So, um, it has been neat to see all the different connections that we have made through this. Steve spoke to an individual, and through that meeting or podcast, there's been connections to other people that they might want to come alongside and help, or they've got expertise in a different area. So um, in a sense of us being encouraged, I have been able to see that with Steve making all these other connections, and how it has encouraged us and specifically Steve to continue doing this. But um, it's also allowed us to be encouraged to know that there's other people who have wanted to join this cause, and also I guess they want to join, but they want to encourage other people as well, and they see a need for these things. So um, that's been a huge encouragement to know that it's such a big and broad project, I think, an undertaking that Steve has. He likes to dream big. So but as he mentioned before, like we can't plug all the holes. We can't do everything ourselves because there are some things that maybe we haven't experienced and haven't had to deal with. So it's encouraging to know that there's been individuals that have come alongside, and they're able to fill in those gaps and help in those areas that maybe we can't. So that, yeah, as I said, it is an encouragement to us, because then you're going, okay, we're not alone in doing this, and we've been able to maybe kickstart something that is going to be bigger than us, and which we would love, not again to make us popular or to put us in the spotlight, but we want it to become a bigger thing that is going to touch more lives than we would ever think that it could. Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't see us, you see us polished as we can be for 30 minutes or 40 minutes. But behind the scenes, you don't see the, sometimes the frustration, the trying to get on the same page, wondering if we're failing, having no donor base, but knowing that God's placed it in our heart to continue. And so, as much as everything sounds so great. The encouraging thing to me is that even though we face many obstacles, that interviews like this, to me, just sitting here listening and having this conversation has made my day already, because I know someone else now knows about us. And even if it's one person, and I believe the person on the other side of the mic understands what I'm talking about when I say our faith, it has made my day already worthwhile. Like Julie said, it was a 7-month hospital stay on my back
True.
in 2023. And I didn't know if I was coming out of hospital at that time. It was a dark time. There was a lot of complications and I didn't know. And the one thing I was trying to figure out was, if I am going to die in here, what is my legacy going to be? What am I going to be known for? And so I was determined when I come out of that hospital, I didn't know what it fully looked like, but when I leave this earth, I want to have impacted people that you can't take anything with you, right? You never see any U-Hauls being towed behind a hearse. You can't take nothing. The only thing you can take with you are other souls. And I've had the joy of, through these conversations and ones that are not on camera, to lead people to a relationship with Christ. And so to me, we've succeeded. We have already. We don't get a donor base. You can't put a price on someone's soul.
Yeah.
So to me, those are things that I know the angels rejoice, but within me, I say we've already succeeded, even if we don't help others.
Well, thank you so much. Every time I go through a difficult situation in the future, I always remember the both of your both of your face will pop up, or your voice will pop up. I'm like, how can I go through this difficult situation? How can I conquer so that my story can be a blessing to someone out there? Probably not as worse a situation as I have, but they just say, yeah, rather than say, oh no, this is the end of me. I'm like, oh, yeah,
Also, by the renewing of our minds, the Apostle Paul said. So it's not a feeling. You'll never feel like doing this for any. I'm not saying you. In the midst of a dark journey, you'll never feel like you've got the energy or the ability to do anything for anyone else. But could even be a conversation that they see like, wow, he was laying on his back, or he was up against a wall here, yet he took time out of his life to invest 30 minutes in a conversation for me. Why does he do that? And I would just, encourage everyone to understand that, the fancy word is we've been given 70 years, but basically 70, maybe 70 years on this earth. And then what? So life's big 3 questions are, how did I get here? What's my purpose? And where am I going when this whole thing ends?
Yeah.
So we're helping people that way.
Julie, what final piece of advice would you want to leave with the listeners, and how can they connect with the Swaggables and Swagability?
Well, I think, do we call it a motto for Swagability is, we want to help people thrive where life finds them. And that's kind of our purpose. Whatever the situation you're in, we want to see people thrive in that. And that's what we try to live to love life as it is, not as you want it. And in terms of contact, I might have to get you to fill me in on that because my brain doesn't know all of them. But swagability.com.
They can learn more about us at swagability.com. But the biggest joy they could help us with, and I'm sure the same with your channel, is by going to our YouTube at Swagability Inc. and subscribing there, liking, making a comment on what you'd like to see us talk about or what story you want us to talk about our life. And from there, that really helps us to make videos about what's interesting to people. So, and if you need help, we have our email, letstalk@swagability.com, or they can find all from our website. They can have no trouble getting in touch with us. And please, by all means, we don't pretend to have it all together, and we may not be able to personally help you, but we make it our business to be able to give you the best advice we can based on our lived experience, and then maybe connect you with someone that we know better has walked your shoes and can help you and put you in contact with them. So yeah, thank you for the opportunity to share that.
Thank you so much. I'll put the links in the description so listeners can click and go directly to the site. Once again, thank you so much for being generous with your time and for sharing your story with me and my listeners.
Thank you so much. God bless.
You've been listening to Relatable Wisdom, and I've been your host, Wisdom Okonkwo. You've been listening to the podcast where every story, quote, and insight helps you see life a little differently. If you enjoyed today's episode, follow the show on your favorite podcast app and share it with someone who loved the conversation. For more inspiring voices and timeless wisdom, visit relatablewisdom.com. Until next time, keep living, learning, and collecting wisdom that matters most to you.